Sean, there's a lot more to the K Club than just the two championship golf courses.
Absolutely, Greg. You take the two golf courses away from here, you're left with one of the most beautiful estates in the world. Passionate about what I see here. If you take today, for example, every hour it changes. You have the River Liffey running through the property here, and in my opinion, it's a hidden treasure. Well, I'm close on 30 years working here prior to the last 9 owners now, and this owner I think will see me out. I came in here as a gardener, I'm going out as a fisherman. That's the way I wanted to do it.
Sean, you've been featured in the New York Times to as far as Tokyo today. How did all this fame start?
Well, all this fame started when I was a very young boy. I was born and reared really on the River Liffey. I was lucky that my father did a lot of fishing, and we were never allowed to go to school on a Friday because it was a fast day, and Friday was a day for fishing, and every day was Friday for me as far as I was concerned. So that's how it happened with me. Of the guests today, it's got many a man into trouble, because the wives would say, well, at least the pub's closed at 12 o'clock if you're drinking when you're out fishing. There's no closure. You're just about to go home after 5 hours, 6 hours. You see a fish rising, or you hear a fish, it's darker. So you start at them again. And time, an hour is like a minute. And in all the guests we'd out fishing here, I'd have a question for them when we're finished. What were you thinking about? They say, God, you know, I don't know. And that's what fishing does for people.
Sean, you've had a lot of very high profile guests here, and many of them have become your friends.
Yes, one particular guy, Mark O'Meara, and he's for the last 10 years coming over to the K Club, passionate about Ireland, loves his fishing. And I was lucky enough to be guest of those guys in Augusta this year. When we came back in April, we went fishing for spring salmon, all fly fishing men. And I said if we got 15 for the week, I'd be very happy. We landed 78 spring fish. And that's what brings these high-profile guys back. They're coming again now in a few days' time.
Have you any fishermen's tales to tell us?
Well, I've one great story, which is a true story. Most fishermen tell lies, or all liars fish, but this is a true story. I was at home one day on a Saturday, and I get this phone call to say there was a gentleman who wanted to go fishing. Of course, the usual thing, had my dinner, arrived at the front gate to find 6 or 7 guys, all about 25 years of age, crew cut, well dressed, put their hand up to start and asked me for identification. And of course, being Irish, identification in Ireland, you don't need it. And I said I didn't have it. I said, I'm going to take a guest fishing. Oh, we can't let you in. I said, I'm sorry, you have 2 choices now. Ring security on the gate, they'll explain who I am, or let me go. I said, no, we need the security to come down to identify you. And I said, you have 2 choices here. I got into the Jeep, they thought I was pulling in, and I drove off. And of course I had a clatter of fellas up after me, they were going to shoot me, going to lynch me. And I pulled up at the office as usual, and they got out and they started to have a go at me, and I said, look, I have a guy fishing. I said, I've no time for this. Didn't call it crap, but I said, I've no time for it. So they said, then you're taking Mr. Bush fishing. And of course it dropped with me then that Mark O'Meara had mentioned that he was sending George Bush on a fishing lesson when he was in Valderrama. And I remembered it then, and this guy says to me, you have to put an X, you have to stand here, I'll tell you how to address him. And I had to go back over and over and over again what I had to say to him. So I was waiting, and he said he'd give me a buzzer when I could go into the hotel reception. And I got the buzzer and I walked in, and this guy is standing on the top of the stairs, and he said, you must be Sean. I said, correct. He said, if I get the bullshit, let's go fishing, right? So we went fishing, and I had to show these CIA guys where we were fishing, dressed them up as fishermen, and this guy that was giving me all the hassle as I thought it, he was only doing his job, said, you've 1 hour, 2 o'clock to 3. So I was showing him how to flog, cast and roll cast and all these different casting. He was fascinated by the casting. So I eventually put on a fly, about 10 to 3, we might catch a fish. So he caught a fish, got a photograph taken. The head guy called me and said, you tell Mr. Bush his hour is up. So walking back to him, he catches a second fish. And of course I just forgot. And netted the fish. Guy called me over again, he said, did you tell Mr. Bush? I said, no. He said, why didn't you? I just didn't, I just kept walking back. And George Bush said to me, is that guy giving you trouble? I said, yeah. He said, would you tell that guy that cancelled my appointment till 6 o'clock? And he stayed with me fishing till 6 o'clock in the evening. That was my great story. Happy about it. The President, to this very day, which is now 8 years on, I get a Christmas card at Christmas from him. He's never forgotten. He sent me a magnificent photograph of the two of us standing, wrote me a personal letter and said, I hope our paths will cross again. So please God, this year, that path is going to cross.
Sean, what is it about the K Club that people love so much?
Well, the K Club is not about golf. Like, I mean, anybody, I'm here since the K Club opened and well before it. And there's people to this day said, they know me as a fisherman. They don't know me as a fella that does the gardens and grounds and fishing and shooting and all that. And any time and every morning that I come in here, I drive up that avenue. There's a different colour. I see something different every day. And even though I'm working here every day, there's something different about it. So to me, there's something different. To the person that comes in off the street or from a different country, they see some magnificent views. The grounds and the gardens here are magnificent. Take the two golf courses out of it, you still have a beautiful place. The job, it's not a job for me, it's a passion. I'd start at 5 o'clock in the morning. Last night it was 12:15 and I finish it. I wouldn't look at a watch. It's a passion, it's something I have. I was probably born with it. I was lucky to have that passion for fishing and passion for gardening. Nature is what it's all about, and I love being close to nature. You come out of an early morning, you see the fox and the badger and the otters. That's what I look for in the morning, not a golf ball.
Sean, we've just had Ian Wisdom, the Ryder Cup captain, behind us. He looked like he's having a really good day. I believe you have a big occasion here in about 2 days.
Yeah, in about 2 years' time, you're looking up the river here and you'll see the top 30 golfers in the world will be fighting for the place in the River Liffey here. Someone will be saying, I hope I qualify, I want to go fishing tomorrow night. I want to make the cut. And it's something that's a natural thing to them. They've been coming for years. They all know where they're going to go and they're saying, I hooked a big fish here last year and going back to get him. And they'll spend absolute hours on that. You meet them the next morning, they tell you, terrific night's sleep. One thing it does, it relaxes you so much. Nothing matters. The golfing doesn't come on, they don't even talk about it. It's what size is the fish and how many I got. And that's, to me, that's life, that's living.
Sean, the River Liffey, it has a certain power running through the K Club.
Absolutely, and it's in my bones. I had a double tragedy a few years ago, and in the worst moments of my life, I take the rod and go to the river. I could spend 2 hours in it, or 6 hours in it. Coming away from that river, shortly after the tragedy with me, I'd be walking up the bank of the river and I'd say, how could I forget the tragedies? And that's what fishing does. That's life. Fishing is living.
Absolutely 2 minutes from the K Club here. We're in a wonderful area and we've been very privileged to be working with the K Club since it opened in 1991. And it's wonderful because you just absolutely don't know who's going to come in because it's such a prestigious hotel. And it makes our life very exciting from being farmers and milking cows all our lives.
Charlie, you obviously have a full shooting facility here. Can you tell me something about it?
Yeah, great shooting facility. We have 5 different traps. We've running rabbit, we've driven bird down the line, but we find the simple ones mainly do. You mainly get people that are on holidays and they're amateur shooters, so you give them the easy bird, the driven bird and the down the line shot. It's as simple as that, and the main thing is you want to get them hitting clays and get them relaxed. They're on holidays and that's what it's all about.
Charlie, you obviously have the equestrian element here as well.
We have indeed. We're very lucky. Horses have always been my greatest love, and the equestrian end of it is quite big. And we service as long as the K Club being our greatest client. And we get again. You just don't know who's going to come in. It's wonderful. Film stars, everyone. Kings of industry. It's a great privilege to be working with the hotel.
Charlie, I believe you also have a Harley Davidson. Are visitors allowed to take a ride in your Harley?
No, but they can photograph me on it.
Charlie, thanks very much.
God bless you. Thanks.